Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I bring you Through the Ages, the second edition. Although it's not the English version, it's in Portuguese. I'm gonna show you what's inside the box and the components and tell you a little bit how the game goes. Um, Warning is that this is a very long game. Although the box says here 2 hours, trust me, it doesn't go to 2 hours. That's because you'll be playing 3 ages. Unless you are a very experienced player in this game, it will take a lot. There's a lot of AP, lots of things that you need to consider. So definitely not 2 hours. And it's very complex game. At the time that I'm recording this video, it has a complexity of 4.4 on BGG. So I can't say that the game is difficult, but it's not easy to enter, but it's not difficult, especially if you have experience in civilization games. um, you'll get into it very fast. I like the cover. It shows here famous people, which you have Julius Caesar. These are all characters in the game as well. Napoleon, Einstein there, and you can see on the back some images of historical moments, like I guess those are Roman flags, but you see some knights there, catapults, the pyramids, and you have here more on recent times here with World Expo in Paris, where Eiffel Tower is built, etc. So in definitely the game will take you through the ages. So that's really the experience. You start with a very primitive civilization, and then through the years you'll develop it with new technology, improve your military skills, etc. And you really feel that. You really feel that improvement through the game and through the ages. One thing that this game doesn't have is it's a Civ game. We're on a map. So at first it's kind of what? Where's the map? Where is the invading armies, etc.? It doesn't work like that. So you'll be building your own game, and there will be cards that will make you interact with other players, like war, aggression, etc. But if you're expecting like a map, a game with a huge map, this is not it. This is different. So let me show you a little bit of how it looks. The game comes with two manuals. This one is called Guide Survive Your First Game. So survive your first game. It tells you a little bit what you need in order, the kind of mindset you need when starting to play this game. The manual is very dense, very dense, very dense, because it goes into detail of everything. Uh, all a lot of images, how to do, where to move. One critique that I can do immediately about the game is that the fact that you will use some cubes to track soldiers, people, resources, etc., and the boards are not dual layers, so if you're not careful, these cubes will move everywhere. So yeah, that's a bit of an annoying thing. Okay, so all the actions, they are really explained. This is how your area of the game will look like, where you have your board. You'll have your resources. The resources could be converted into food, stone, or the yellow one would be people, converted into miners, farmers, soldiers, religious people. And then you have a limited number of actions on your turn. That depends on the kind of political system you've implemented. And you can use those actions to play cards, buy cards, use resources. It's amazing. The way the game works is you really feel it. You really feel it. It's like, oh, so I have a more military regime, so I can do more military actions, or I'm more on the political regime kind of thing, so I have more actions and less battle. But then, if you don't prepare yourself to be strong in battle, then you know that you'll be a target of other civilizations. You've seen this, the things of this game, you've seen this in Seven Wonders and other games, right? Plenty of times. But this game makes it unique. And there's another manual here called the Law Code, which I believe it's more of a quick startup guide, right? Because it will show you a little bit of things, simpler, simpler explanation of everything, with lots of images from the cards. I guess it's like a refreshment if you need to go back into the game. Okay, and then inside the box we have. So this is a 2 to 4 player. There's no solo mode that I'm aware. And these are the 4 reference guides where you have the description of everything you could do in your turn. Quite scary, I know, quite scary, but once you play the first age, you will really understand how the game works. Then, giving you an overview of what we have here, we have the 4 player mats. They're all the same, although the color changes. It's the player color because the rest is the same. The game is in the beginning. It's similar for all players. And then what you have here is, so now with more details. So you start with warriors like Greek time warriors, then agriculture, basic agriculture that every worker will produce one foods, and then very primitive mining capabilities where every worker here will produce one of bronze in this case. Then you'll have basic philosophy, which will provide ideas or science points that you use for building things. And you need also to put a worker here to start having some basic religion, where you get culture points and happiness for your people. By the way, the game you win after the 3 ages. You win if you have the most culture, yeah, civilization developed the most. So these are end of the game points that you get. Um, so on your turn, you will be limited to the number of actions you have of white cubes. So you start with despotism, which has 4 actions, civil actions, and then 2 military actions. And then you can move later on to a new regime, and you change this to do different stuff. And there are other ways for you to get more actions. You'll see on the cards. Then these are the blue cubes. Those are the resources. So you have like a generic resource, and then depending on where you produce things, those resources, the blue cubes, which let me show you. They look like this. Let me show you. And then we go back to the boards. They look like these things, right? So they will be here, and then imagine, oh, I produce food, so it goes there, and now it represents. If it's here, it's 1 food. But then when you upgrade it, if it's here, it could be 2 foods, 3 foods, depending on the level of production you have. Okay. So you produce from here, and then you do all your actions. And what happens in the end of the turn is, on a very overall level, you score the number of points that you have on culture and science. Okay, you go up on certain tracks that I will show you. Then, if you have lots of resources that are ready to be used and were not used in the turn, the game has some kind of compensation mechanism here, which is, if this is the highest one that is untapped, you need to pay it in stone. Okay, so if you imagine you have lots of stone accumulated here that you are not using, and by using is moving it back to the bank. If they are there, the game forces you to use those, at least to pay 2 or pay 4 or pay 6 to get them back here, in order for not having stored here. So you really need to always be considering what you need to pay. It's called a corruption. And then you produce, and then you also need to feed your civilization, a bit like a Agricola here. So if you have if only these 2s are untapped, you need to pay 1 of food in the end. Then here would be 2 of food to feed everyone, etc., etc., etc. And you also need to keep the happiness level synchronized with the amount of population that you have open. So if your population is here, if you're like here, but your happiness level is there, there will be consequences. You won't be able to produce as expected. Basically, that's it. That's it. So what you have here is, you have the market where the cards will be, nothing especially to show you, and then you have the tracks where you track the points. So when you increase your production, you have the production level here. Then on the income phase, that accumulates here on the final score of culture. So this is where you win the game, it's being higher here. And the same logic applies here for the science. So you have production level, and then when there is income phase, this production goes here, and this one goes up and down, because you'll be using this as a resource to improve your civilization. Okay. also showing you this board. There will be some military cards as well that will increase your military level, as you can see here. Okay, and there will be some military tactics that you play here. I'm just showing you the board. There's nothing else to see. And this one is where you play your military events. Okay. This will make more sense now that I will show you the cards. So you have the red actions, which are the military actions, civil actions, resources, and people. Lots of cubes. I'm afraid to move this box around because this looks like an accident will happen. No bags here, but the insert was looking like this. And also you have the thing. You have here the meeples or the trackers for all those tracks that you've seen, and they have some stickers that come with the game. You have 4 colors for the 4 players, right? So this would be the happiness symbol. This would be the culture, and then if you go past the maximum, it changes. Okay. Cool. And now the core of the game will be in the cards. So everyone starts with the starting cards for civilization. So unfortunately, again, this is not in English. I would love to show this in English as well. I need to clean the mold. There's some mold around there. Mold, what a problem, yeah. Um, so you will have one leader every time that will give you bonus. So Julius Caesar will be giving you military action, military power. Then the yellow cards are the one that you play to get the effect here. This one will give you less stone. And then there are the wonders. Very similar to 7 wonders, you'll be building the same kind of buildings here. So this guy will be the Colossus. You need to spend an action and 3 stones to build one part, and then another action and 3 more stones to build another part. Then the bonus will be what you get here. 2 fighting and 1 for shipping people around colonies. The Hang Gardens of Babylon, which will give you culture and happiness. And Homero, I'm just going to focus on the more known cards here. The Library of Alexandria, which will give you science. Aristoteles. So we start with the old leaders from old ancient times, right? Moses, the pyramids will give you an extra action, so very, very important. Who's this guy now? Alexander the Great, give you some more military power. And Hammurabi. So Hammurabi allows you to use military actions as civil actions, so very good for you to do more actions in the beginning. That's a strong one. Okay, and then what we have here now is just looking at the mold, how mold invades. If you really know, how to make sure that your games do not get destroyed with mold, please share in the comments because it's a nightmare for me. Then we have the military events like market development, political development. Those will affect the game and give you extra things. Bellic development, etc. Look at the art. The art is corresponding to the kind of development we're seeing here. Okay, then what happens is we start with, this is separated probably, we start with era 1, so let me take you through cards. Prague University, Theology, the Monarchy. So this is a regime that if you upgrade it by paying what you see here, 8 science, you'll have a monarchy, so you'll start having 5 actions instead of the standard 4 and 3 military instead of the standard 2. Then Code of Laws, a science card, costs 6 science and gives you an extra civil action. A war gives you military and military power. That's the logic of the game. So you pay this in science and you get something new, which in this case, to put someone here to build it, you need to pay 4 stones, and then what happens is you get these 2 extra culture and that happiness level there. The circus gives you fight. Oh, sorry, I was looking at this like this and say, oh, you get alpha culture point. No, yeah, it gives you 2 happiness, fighting, theology again. So the game has some redundancies in order to make sure that, see, theology and theology here, that all players, most of the, not all, I guess there's limited numbers, but you other players can have the same kind of technology to migrate as well. Then you have the military upgrades, so your soldiers will become knights and have more value in combat. More technology for mining. In this case, it's iron instead of just bronze. Alchemy, more science. Then the yellow cards will have effect. Theocracy, which gives also basic stuff instead of actions. War again, iron, and then Michelangelo here as a leader. St. Peter's Church in the Vatican. Frederick Redbeard. I don't know who this guy is. Swordsman, cartography, another monarchy, Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, laws again, the theater, Christopher Columbus. Irrigation, so it's an upgrade on farming. The Taj Mahal. And another upgrade, irrigation. So yeah, there's a printing here, the Great Wall of China, and all these things. Joan of Arc. There's Genghis Khan, which will give you stronger military power. And on the military side, so these are the military cards on the H1. You have the formation. So if you have 3 horses, you will get this additional fighting power if you get that combination. It seems like a little bit like Risk, right? You have if you have a combination of these symbols, you get this, that. It's similar here. So 2 infantry and a knight will give you 3. It's a phalange formation or tactic. It'll give you this extra power. This is heavy cavalry. The legion will give you extra 2. Then this is an aggression card that you attack another player and steal stuff. This is when you are attacked, you can defend yourself by increasing 2, or if you are bidding for a colony, sometimes there will be colony cards, and then you can go and use this to increase your colony level. The medieval exercise, the assault, the rebellions. Okay, you get the idea. Slavery. You get 3 things, and these 2 cubes. Oh, there's a colony here that you will bid for trying to get the colony, and then you get these extra cubes there for the colony. The rats, another colony. Okay, immigration, the crusades. I love the pestilence, so very thematic from the things that happened during those ages in the beginning, the medieval times. Oh, band of combat. Cultural influence. Another colony here that gives you straight away 5 stones and 5 cubes for resources. So it's more cubes that you have on your board that will not, it's going to be difficult for you to get to the point that you need to pay corruption, because these cubes will occupy more of the board. Oh, so here, the historical territory, you get 6 culture immediately. Cool. Oh, what's this? Strategic territory. It gives you 3 military cards immediately and counts for 2 of your fighting. Oh, and this is a different one. It's a deal that you do with other players in order to do stuff. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So this is just age 1. We still have to see the other 2 ages, but I'm going to pause the video now because I want to clean these molds and make sure that everything is clean. So I'll get back. Back from cleaning the mold, you can see now everything is clean then, and we can move for the second age. Some cards separated here, so let me see what happened here. It seems that it needs to go back to place. And we have the civil cards. Yes, my hands still have some water from cleaning my hands. So, okay, so an upgrade for agriculture, the artificial selection, the cannon. Now your military units will have 3 power. The journalism will produce culture and science. Makes perfect sense, right? When you have journalists in your civilization, you start having culture, news, and articles, but also scientific journalism, and you get science from there. This game makes perfect sense. Then stone, coal from the mines, give you 3 stone. Architecture, the marines, but they still look like very old soldiers. The constitutional monarchy, 6 actions and 4 military actions. The republic. The republic is more peaceful, so 7 civil actions and only 2 military. Canyon again. Journalism. Oh, Napoleon, there he is. It's coming here. Napoleon, James Cook. What do you do? Sail better. The opera house will provide you 3 culture. The trains, the boats. Maximilien de Robespierre. Stadium. Bach, the composer. The scientific method. So we have a celestial observatory there, astronomical observatory there, and it's introducing the scientific method for you to produce 3 science every turn. Navigation, Shakespeare. Cavalry, we haven't seen those. Cavalry, level 3 cavalry, scientific method. Oh, the Kremlin. So there's a funny thing here. So about the Kremlin, it's a wonder that you need to build. It gives you 2 culture, but it will give you negative happiness. So I guess the game is very, very. How to say this? Maybe you can. So this is a Vlada Shvatil game. I guess it's Polish. You do your own math, but the author thinks that the Kremlin will not make people happy. I think he's Polish. Oh, the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, 4 culture, very strong. Isaac Newton. Organized religion. Wow, 3 happiness. The organized religion. Everyone is very happy. It's gospel. It's all those things, make people very happy. Okay, and wow, the law system will give you 3 cubes. That's good. That's good. Now it's time for the military actions. Just swapping here the decks a little bit. And there we go. These are all H2 military things. So protection cards, crime wave, the conquistadores. Okay. War for territory. The Cold War already. Oh, it's on level 2 and it's already the Cold War. So what we'll have on H3? Defensive army, pillage, the classic army, time devastation, the Declaration of Independence, pillage again. Things get more and more aggressive. A developed territory. Okay, so yeah, it's New York as a colony here. Salt, civil agitation, economic progress, prosperity, refugees. Fortification, 2 cannons and you get fortification. Historical territory, 11 culture. What a great boost. Strategic territory, it's like a big fort there. 5 military cards. Iconoclast. National pride. Oh, there's a Tomium there. popularization of science and cooperation. So these are treaties as well. Treaties that you can do with other places. There's only one age left, the level 3. No, I'm not missing any card. Yeah, we are missing these 2 cards. I'm putting it together here. So these, I'm not focused on these yellow cards because they are all the same, and they are like the same but better and better as we go through the ages. So through the ages. Oh, that's communism here. Communism. There's a very communist building there. Military 5, 7 normal, and then you get unhappiness again. So yeah, democracy, fundamentalism. So then fundamentalism, you get lots of military, civil, lots of attacking power, but you lose to science. You lose the production of 2 sciences. So fundamentalism, they don't like science. The invention of computers. There you go. Computers, engineering, tanks. Tanks. Multimedia. So now it's really contemporary ages, apparently. Oh, modern infantry. Look at the guy. Look at the guy. Albert Einstein. Civil service. Oh, fast food. That's a wonder. Fast food is a wonder. Gandhi. Oh, Bill Gates. Bill Gates as a leader. Rockets. Hollywood as a wonder. Air Force. Air Force. Sid Meier. Sid Meier. Wow. Yeah, so if you don't know who Sid Meier is, this is the guy that creates the Sid Meier Civilization games, the computer games. So there's an homage here for Sid Meier. So cool. So cool. Cinema, professional sports, Charlie Chaplin, military theory, mechanized agriculture, oil, the internet as a wonder, internet, satellites, Churchill. So the Cold War was a level 2, but Churchill is a third age leader. That's strange. Space flight, Air Force, and then we have the democracy, sports, oil again. Yeah, it's more of the same. Rockets, yes. So the only thing left here is to see the military cards from the third age. The military cards. Trying to not to damage. That's why some of the cards were out, because it gets a bit tight under normal. Here it's okay, but here it's too many cards, I think. So we need to put a couple of them out. The modern army. Impact of technology. War for culture. Assault. Impact of agriculture. Aggression. Mechanized army. The trenches. Armed intervention. Architectural impact. Happiness impact. Science impact. Shock troops. Oh, you already have drones there. Look how the images are now very contemporary. Oh, the North Korea tanks here. Okay. See, when you get to play these cards, you really feel it's modern times now. We are not in the Greeks anymore. There's nuclear energy there. The impact of the wonders. Oh, so cool. And this is the number of actions you need to, military actions, to play these really complex fighting things. Impact of the colonies, impact of population, impact of force. culture. And okay, there's Angela Merkel there, and some Chinese leader or something. Loss of sovereignty. This guy was taken out from the dictator. Military pact, peace treaty. It's a very cool game. Indeed, it's a very cool. It helps you to teach some history to your kids, and and it's fun if you like this kind of games. So yeah, I've taken you through the ages. This video also took some ages, but it's done. So I hope you have enjoyed it to the point then you consider leaving that like and consider subscribing. I have a playlist dedicated of many board games and card games in general, so I truly believe that you'll find interesting content there. The easiest and cheapest way to support this work is by just leaving your like and consider subscribing. So thank you in advance for doing that, and I hope to see you on the next video, which will be an expansion for Through the Ages. Thank you. Goodbye.